guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on my video. If you are not a subscriber, please be sure to hit the subscriber button as well as the notification bell so that you will be notified anytime I upload a new video. This is simply just a quick story time. We still in quarantine and hey, why not? So I just decided to do a little quick story time. As you guys can read by the title, this is the time I literally almost burnt my house down. Like my kitchen was in flames. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. So every year my church does my previous church does a corporate fast, a 21-day fast. So around this time we were fasting and I was hungry, of course. I was doing a Daniel fast. And for those of you who don't know what the Daniel fast is where you eat nothing but fruits and vegetables. You drink 100% juice, water, stuff like that. So I was about to eat, I had just chopped up some fresh potatoes because I was about to make some fries. And I had virgin olive oil. And so I had put the olive oil on a stove and I literally had put it on, like I had turned the eye to 2. And right before I knew it, I had went into the living room to the couch to get the remote to turn the TV up. I was doing something. And literally the moment I turned around, the stove, like no lie, it was in flames. Like the whole kitchen was in flames. And what really sucked is because, of course, it was a grease fire, but I didn't have no fire extinguisher. And it was just in flames. I didn't have no flour. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't stop the fire. Like it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was freaking out because I was here by myself. And I'm just like, oh my, like, gosh, like my kitchen is on fire. Like I was freaking out, but I wasn't like freaking out in a way to where like, oh my God, like I wasn't doing that. I was just like calmly like freaking out, if that makes sense. Like it was weird. So anywho, as the kitchen was just constantly on fire, I was like, I don't know. And the dumbest thing I did was I moved the pot that was on fire. I grabbed it by the handle and I threw it in the sink and I tried to run water on it. And the moment I did that, it went up into higher flames. And at this point, it was at the ceiling in my living room. And I was just freaking completely out. And then all I can think about, and I can remember, all I can think about was like my neighbors and their kids and all these people who have a home. Like I'm gonna be the reason they don't have a house. So kid you not, like I started pleading out to God, like why the kitchen was in flames. Like I started pleading out to God, and at that moment I was told, well, I feel like he told me like, okay, you need to open this garage door, because at that time the house was super smoky and I really couldn't breathe. So the house like was really super smoky. So my garage door is connected to my kitchen. So I opened up that door, then I opened the garage, and I have 2 patios in my living room. And so I opened both of those. I opened the front door. All of the smoke detectors is going off. Now you think in my mind I will call the fire department. I didn't call the fire department. I don't even know why. So I'm freaking out. I started crying out to God, y'all. I kid you not. I started crying out to God, like pleading out to God, praying. I was praying hard. And all I can do was just cry out to God to stop the fire, please. Like, I don't even know. Like, I just knew I just got into the spirit. And before I knew it, guys, like that fire started to go down. Like I'm getting chills talking about it because I didn't put this fire out. Like I didn't put the fire out, and it was nobody but God, because like that moment, I had that moment with God, and then I started praying and pleading out to God and getting to the spirit. Like that fire literally went down. Like I watched the fire go down. Like with my own eyes, I watched God, stop that fire. Like he really stopped that fire. Like, let me show y'all the pictures really quick. So if y'all can see from the pictures, like the flames was really like, they like got up to the ceiling. It burnt my entire sink. Oh, and that is not even the tea. That's not even a tea. So I called my rental office the next day, and y'all, I was only in my place for maybe like a good 3 weeks. So I didn't get my renter's insurance or nothing. So I called my rental office the very next morning, because I was freaking out because my arm, I had burnt, like, well, not big burns on my arms, but little spots of like where the grease was. So I called my rental office to tell her, you know, what happened. And she asked me if I had renter's insurance, and I didn't. So she was like, well, I have to call somebody to come out. They're going to have to give you a quote on the sink, you know, and then y'all talk about payment and stuff. And at the time, I'm like, dang, like, I'm by myself. Like, this before my cousin moved in with me. I'm like, I'm by myself. Like, and then I'm about to have to pay for them to repair this sink. I got to get it all new, everything. I was freaking out. So, one day I came home and my sink was fixed. When this was like a few days later, I came home and my sink was fixed. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, the rental office just came and fixed it. Well, maybe they added onto my rent, because I pay my rent through an app. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe she just added onto my rent. I don't know. So then she calls me and was like, hey, she was like, is it okay? You know, the guys are here to give you a quote. Is it okay if they come look at the sink so they can give you a quote? And I said, well, my sink is fixed. And she said, your sink is fixed? And I'm like, yeah, my sink is fixed. I have a brand new sink. And she's like, well, we didn't send anybody. And I'm like, well, somebody came in my house and fixed my sink. I was like, so I don't know. And she was like, girl, you blessed. And that just really made me feel like God really working. I don't know how. I don't know. Maybe she told somebody and then they came to fix it and she forgot. I don't know. But y'all, God really saved my life that day, because I was determined. I was not trying to leave this house, you know, and have everybody else lose what they worked so hard for, you know, and it'd be my fault. So I really feel like by the time the fire department would have made it here, the fire would have got to my neighbor's house. Like, it was crazy. Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, I almost burnt this house down. So now, like, when I'm in the kitchen, y'all, I really don't like taking my eye off the eyes, if that makes sense. I don't like taking my eyes off the stove, because I am not about to be the reason, you know, that this house, I mean, I got renter's insurance now, but I'm just saying, like, y'all, that was crazy. I just couldn't believe, like, that was just amazing to me. Like, y'all understand. Like, it was, I keep looking over here, but the camera is there. It's hard. But yeah, I just wanted to share that quick story. It ain't no long story or whatever, but I'm telling y'all, really, God is real. You know, he is really real. All you have to do is just have faith and believe. I'm telling you, God will work miracles in ways more than you can ever imagine. Like, for him to do that for me, that's when my eyes really opened up, and I really feel like God removed the veils from my eyes, because at that moment, like, that was nobody but God. That was nobody but God. And the fact that, like, I was freaking out, but I was as calm as I was, like, just to see my kitchen in flames and to see all that smoke that I was just inhaling, like, it was crazy. And I'm still baffled at myself. I'm still confused at the fact that I didn't even pick up the phone to call. The first thing somebody would do is to call, you know, the fire department. I ain't even called the fire department. And right after that, I had immediately got into my family chat, like, y'all, my kitchen was on fire. And of course, they was concerned to worry, oh my God, are you okay? And blah, blah, blah. But yeah, God is amazing. Like, if you don't believe, I'm telling you, let me be a witness. Let me help you. Let me do something, because God is really real. He moves and he works in ways more than you can ever imagine. I was just really blessed that day, and I'm still thankful. I'm thankful God continues to move and work through me, and I'm thankful. And I owe it all to nobody but God. You know, I'm only 26, but still, like, I still have my whole life ahead of me, you know. So that's all I want to say. Just don't forget, guys, like, I am still new to this YouTube thing, so I'm just still trying to find my niche. If you guys there's some things you want to see, just be sure to leave it in the comment box. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye. Whatever you've been told, you worth more than gold.